Hello, good evening, not by there. Yes, here we go. So, why are we here? Why are we here? Well, we are here today because it is time to look at the epic side of raid tournaments, challenge events even, I beg your pardon. Just quickly, somebody asked me if I was going to do a war video. I got to say, I'm sorry, not today. Just a matter of time. Just quickly, if I go into Alliance Wars, if I can. I did have a good war. Last I checked, I was top of the board. May not be anymore. If we, oh goodness me, my phone is lagging so badly. Just what I need, right? Yeah, let's have a look at the battlefield. Certainly, I won 3 out of 3. Tidy war for me so far. Obviously, it's early days. I've got another 3 to go, so it could even easily go anywhere. There we are, top of the board. 172, 3 wins, 3 aces. So that was my war attacks. Yes, now the main focus of this is, of course, that we have a challenge event on now. Now, as anybody who knows me, who follows the game, knows the most interesting areas of the game for me are raids and raid tournaments, and also what you call them, Alliance Wars. I find raids the most cerebral part of the game. I'm not that fussed about. I don't do that many videos on general stories. I don't do that many videos on Titans. I tend to focus on yes, the raids and the tournaments, but also the challenge events. That's probably my one exception. The challenge events is because there's a clear competitive aim and an aim to win. Now, currently, Knights of Avalon is up with King Arthur and the Knights of Ni. You'll see. So here we are on rare. I'm 326th. It's not amazing. Normally I aim for the top 100. I'm not planning on pushing my score because I should safely stay in the top 1,000. I've got 1 day to last. I can't see me getting knocked out of the top 1,000 in that time. To get into the top 10 would be a massive effort, and it may not even pay off. So I'm just happy where I am. I'm not really pushing it any further on that. Legendary, I have aimed for the top, I think it's 10,000, is it? 10,000? Yeah, top 10,000. So I'm not aiming for the... Oh, hello. Going slow. Yeah, so I'm not aiming for the top 100. I'm not aiming for the top 1,000. There's a temptation to push for the top 1,000. It would be tough for me. My legendary heroes, they're okay, but I'm short of a lot of the sort of better heroes of the month and so on. Well, I haven't got any heroes of the month and what have you. So I'm a little bit limited. I'm also limited on battle items and things like that. So I tend not to push too hard. So you can see my master score is 1 million, blah, 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 blah. There's levels there I could definitely improve. I mean, particularly the last one, 84,818 is quite substantially lower. I don't know what I would need to get into the top 1,000. That's the thing. You can't actually see the top 1,000 scores. But never mind. Let's not dwell on that. Let us move on to Epic, which is where we are now. Now, Epic I am aiming for, and I may be being ridiculously optimistic here, I'm aiming top 500. I don't know if it's possible. I honestly don't. You can see at the moment I'm not even close, but then, to be fair, I'm finished. So that's no real surprise. Certainly top 5,000 would be my ultimate aim. Top 500 would be nice, but we'll see how we go. Who can say? So the aim at the moment is not to improve my scores. So you'll see my scores go 39, 42, 45, 48, 51, 42, 52, 51, 67, 61. Now, mission number 9, you always score slightly more because of the different number of bosses on it. So number 9 is always misleading. The obvious one that's crying out there to be sorted is obviously the score number 6, which is 42,000, when it should be higher than 51,000 because it should sort of gradually go up. So that's obviously a particularly poor score. 61,000 there on number 10. Actually, that's not awful because number 9 is the one which sort of throws the whole system out. So we're going to look at number 11 now. I haven't actually checked ahead, which probably would have been wise, being as I'm doing a video about this. Hello, number 11. Number 11. Oh, my goodness me. Ooh, right. So I'm going to assume it's a green team. Now, go off that. So on rare, generally, Epic, generally, my team is not strong. I don't have the the boosters. I don't have the depth of sort of like the most powerful heroes and whatever else have you. You can see I've only got 6 talent emblems on my team. I've got some troops that are leveled up, but not all of them by any means, or at least not to any great extent. I've got bombs and axes and mana potions, and I'm also going with bear banners. I accept that if you are one of the players going for the top scores, these are probably not the items that you want. But for what I'm aiming for, which is just a decent high score, it's probably fine. Hopefully, anyway, but we shall see. So, as with on rare or legendary, if you're going for a really tip-top score, you need to be, basically you're relying on the luck of the board. I'm hoping the board will smile upon me today. It may do, it may not. So here we go. Yellow 5 in a row. Basically, my aim at the moment, now this is going back to a sort of route recommended by Anchor from 7 Days Departed. It's to look at getting set up so that you clear the first wave within 30 seconds and have a decent setup moving forward. Now you'll see that 30 seconds is nearly up. My phone is finally starting to run a little bit smoother, but at the moment I haven't killed anyone, so clearly not going to clear the first wave in 30 seconds. So I just blow this bomb up and boom. There we go. So not worth taking. I'm just going to kill off one goblin because I may as well. So I'm not going to do it. It's not going to be a score worth taking and not taking to the bank, so to speak. So I'm going to hit flee, and there we go. Brave Sir Robin ran away. When danger reared its ugly head, he bravely turned his tail and fled. Brave, 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 brave Sir Robin. He was not in the least bit scared to be killed in nasty ways, nor to have his eyes stamped out. Anyway, right. There we are. Musical interlude whilst my phone stopped. I don't know what's going on with my phone tonight. It was working fine anyway. Ironically, this is actually my second attempt to make this video, but there we are. Let's not dwell on that. It might be because I have a text message coming through. Well, who knows. Anyway, there we are. So let us not dwell on that. Let's hit. It's going to say, do I have a refill? And this takes you to another point. It is worth using refills on challenge events. You have to replay levels lots of times to get a decent score. Basically, I tend to use all the World Energy flasks that I get from the previous challenge event on the next one, plus any others I accumulate in the meantime from farming and chests and wherever else you can get them from. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is not going very well. How do I see my phone? Right, it's got Wi-Fi. Yeah, plugged in. Got Wi-Fi. Who knows? Anyway, oh goodness me. Well, that's not very good. Right, so we're 1 second in, and I don't need to know about the loot. Go away. There we go, never mind. So 10 seconds in, and I've finally made my first move. Although, to be fair, it is quite a nice move, so let's not panic. Bum, 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 bum. I'm going to slide this across, because what I would like is, what I really want is a green 5 in a row to set up my, what do you call it? To set up my my heroes. That's what they're called. There it is, green 5 in a row, quite handy. 42 seconds gone, which is longer than I would like, but it is not an insurmountable amount. Going to go on to the next wave. Now the next wave I'm going to hit, I'm going to use the bear banner here. I should have used it earlier on, actually, in fairness, being as it's relatively cheap and everything else. Let's quickly see what happens here. It clears some of, but by no means all of the screen. The moves I'm flowing left, right and centre, but so there we go. I could do with, you can see it's 1 minute 17 is up. No clear end in sight. And I'm thinking this is going to take too long for me to get a tip-top score. Worth seeing how it went, but I'm going to hit flee. So I'm just going to give up. It's not that I couldn't beat it, it's that I don't want to use the battle items, I don't want to spend much time, and time unfortunately is precious. Time is money, etc, etc. or it would be for me if I actually earned a decent living, but then never mind, let's not dwell on that. So here we go, let's go purples up there. Dum, 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 dum. Nice little combo there. Let's open up this blue 5 in a row hanging around here. Yeah, I think let's clear the screen of the blues and see what happens next. Oh, there we are, another combo. Same sort of thing. I'm looking at whether or not I can break down their defences properly. I mean, I'm through the first wave very quickly, or fairly quickly, I should say, which I'm quite pleased about. Just remains now, can I go that bit further? Can I go the extra mile and take out this wave as quickly as well? It's going fairly quickly. I'm still shy of a minute, which is quite nice timing wise. So some of it at the moment is about sort of clearing the screen. Some of it's hoping things just fall into place. Not genuinely sure at the moment. It's not awful screen, but you kind of, to get, for me at least, I need to get 2 decent screens back to back. So a decent first wave and a decent second wave. First wave was good, second wave was yeah. So I'm going to hit flee. Again, it's not about whether I can do it or not. It is about time to score ratio. The easiest way to get a decent score on a challenge event is get quick speed. You can do it with also with tiles, particularly combos. Combos, if you're doing it really seriously, you basically replay each level until you get a massive combo on your first move, which sets you up, and then you just use battle items to just blitz your way through it, and you have tons of ultra-powered heroes, and everything else falls into place. I'm not going that far, basically because of time, effort, energy, number of world energy flasks you have to use, and so forth. So let's see. Oh, there we go. So I'm going to start off with this green 5 in a row. You can see up in the corner there, making an L-shaped 5 in a row. Then we have got, right, okay, mighty good combo there. It's a shame, really, that I am... Basically, I've cleared the screen of greens, which is all well and good, but it doesn't help me much. Ooh, I'm heading towards the Hand of Thanos here, which is when you get 1 gem of each colour. Can't see it. I've never managed that, must admit. I tend to use them up too quickly, gems. I hardly ever leave them. But in theory, it's a possibility. Oh, I've got a purple gem coming now. Look, oh, no, I haven't. I pressed the... oh, no, I did get one in the end. Not the way I was expecting to. Basically, I slipped. I'm forever slipping. Honestly, it's horrendous. Right, let me see. Now, I'm going to use the bear banner here. We're still on target time-wise. Under a minute, or more or less under a minute when we cleared this wave. There we go. I'm going to use the red gem now, mainly because I don't want to go into the boss wave without at least a few greens on the screen. Battery, go away, battery message. I know the battery's rubbish. Right, okay, so we're on to the bosses, I should say. And we're going to go for this, we're going to go for this. This is going to be the crucial move, whether I take it to the bank or not. Still, it's a reasonable time, but I'm just not seeing this as being a tip-top score. And again, mind you, the trouble is now both of their bosses are going to go off, and I suspect that won't be the end of the matter. I don't think it's worth me throwing my battle items in at the minute. Yeah, no, I'm going to hang on to them. So I'm just going to flee. It's a shame. There were plenty of good moves there. It was just a little bit. I just needed more greens on the screen at the end. Now, it is obviously a risk going with greens when you know you are fighting against red enemies. But the mobs on the run up to the bosses are blue and green, which is why I've gone with green. You could also go with yellow or purple and be just neutral against everyone, which might be a better bet in some ways. Because obviously if I went with with blue, I'd be weak against the green mobs. Not in fairness that there are any green mobs currently on the screen, but in theory they come up. And this is always a bit of a challenge event issue. If you look at the different people who are in the top thingamybobs, they do vary a little bit which colour they do, and of course it only reflects the last mission that they did, and so you do need to be prepared to change your mission, your team as you go along. Yeah, no, that's not going to be one to take home. Flee there. Ultimately, I may just end up going. I'm just going for a basic score. How are we doing? Oh, my phone is really not running terribly well today. Let's see, 23 hours. So obviously, I'll want to. Aside from anything else, it's always worth completing any challenge event. Just trying because the completion rewards are worth having, let alone the tier rewards. So even if you don't think you're going to finish well, I would always recommend you try and finish. All the tier completion rewards now include at least one of the sort of ascension items that are hard to get hold of otherwise, even including rare, I believe. I can't remember for certain. I would have to double check. Okay, so let's go for no. There we go. Right, my fat thumb nearly cost me another move. There we go. It's amazing how all my weight goes on my thumbs. Never mind. So, boom, smack-a-lacka-lacka-lacka, bomb, 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 bomb. Lots of tiles flying around the place. Reasonable sort of movement on the screen. Just need to see if anything can translate itself into a sort of massive game-winning setup, which at the moment I have to say doesn't seem to be happening. Distinctive lack of greens on the screen. Yeah, no, that's not going to be the one. Always want on-colour tiles, basically. Now I could take the risk of going for blue, or I could take the risk of going for yellow or purple, which may make it easier against the bosses. But then the bosses tend to be the wave. By this stage of the tournament, the boss tends to be the wave I throw all my battle items at if I think it's worth trying. Tricky, really tricky. Anyway, here we are. So let's see. It's purple 5 in a row there. Very nice. That's not gonna. Blue 5 in a row here. So I'm I could do with recording it slowly and then sort of drawing circles around all the 5 in a rows and whatever else I see, or miss more accurately, because I probably would see them if I wasn't trying to actually play at the same time. 30 seconds, there's the golden 30 seconds. The screen to me is not open, so let's just hit flee there. Not seeing the kind of screen I want to take home. You can sort of see how frustrating it is to try and get a massive, like a really high score. Yes, flee. If I click on my little time recorder device, can you? Yeah. It says 18 minutes. Now, 18 minutes, and I haven't actually scored once. I haven't completed this once. And that's roughly, let's say, 3 minutes of waffle at the start of my video. That's 15 minutes of trying to get to beat my own score, which, you know, sums it up really. That's quite a time investment. It doesn't help my phone's not running terribly well at the moment. I assume it's because it's probably gone onto low power mode because of the fact the battery's dying. Nope, go away. Shoo, 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 shoo. Right. Okay. That's interesting. Well, it appears that we may have crashed. Right, here we are. Wave 1 of 3. There we go. Right, so let's go for, there's a bit of a small combo there, and there'll be a small combo here if my thumb doesn't mind selecting it. That's it, and another combo here. Few combos, but nothing to write home about in terms of green, which is of course the colour that I need. And there we go. Yep, I think at that point it's time to just say, nah, time to move on. Thank you. Right, I got 3 more goes, and then whatever happens, I'm going to end this video. So I'm going to hope that within those 3, I get an awesome chance to show you quite how quickly, how high you can score potentially. Either that, or then I would have shown you the frustration of taking part in a challenge event and trying to get for the high scores, because unfortunately it's quite frustrating. What you require is so specific that it does get annoying. There's almost, I mean, it's one of these things. I mean, there's an element of skill to make the best of the screens that come up, but there's also an element of just luck and constantly doing the same thing over and over again. And then if it comes up, you're lucky. So let's slay this deer. There we go. Nope, he's still standing. And we're 40 seconds in, and that is the point to say nah on this one. You can, and of course you can only judge it by the first wave, so or first or second wave. By the time you get to the boss wave, you're often looking at either having a reasonable screen or you're fairly committed. If you go for the bosses, that is the point where you have to just say, right, I'm going for it, and just launch into them with everything you have. I may get to the point at the moment, because I am short of time and feeling a little bit tired, that I ultimately just hit the bosses with whatever I can throw at them and just move on to the next level. It will mean my score won't be particularly high, and like I say, I'm in for the top 500, but it will just get me to the end of the event, and then I can look at improving scores if I have the time in the future. Although, of course, battle items tend to be the issue, because battle items are what I run out of. I'm not liking this as an opening screen, doesn't look full of promise. Way too many of colours I don't have on the board. No, I'm going to hit flee, go away, battery saver. Shouldn't actually be on because my phone is supposed to be charging, but the cable is loose. Last mission then, let's see if we can get a bit of a go. And I think this time around, whether I get it or not, I may just demonstrate beating the bosses. So I'm going to do this. This will trigger a 3 in a row, a couple of 3 in a row there. Nice little combo to start us off. Not enough of the right colour, but it's still a combo. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Another little combo there. A few little combos. Green star, nice. Let's see. Don't know if this will be enough. No, not quite, but this will finish him off. So 35 seconds and we're on to wave 2, which isn't bad. What worries me is the total absence of any green tiles on the screen. That may be solved in a few moves, or it may not. Thinking not at the minute, if I'm honest. There we go. Come on, right, go. So the green tiles, as you can see, are doing an absolute sort of shed load of damage. The other tiles, not so much. Green tiles up there, no clear space there. Let's see, 1 minute 19. It's not a great time to take this on to the bosses, and it's also just not been a great screen. You need, for me, you kind of want 2 great screens, because the battle items are not going to get me through either screen, this or the bosses, in a sort of successful way. You kind of need, I find with the bosses, because my heroes aren't that awesome, my troops aren't that awesome, I need both. I need 2 good screens and then a good boss screen. So it's a bit, it is tough. I don't think I'm going to make it today. Tiles are whizzing around. A few extra little elves here. Right, so the one to worry about really, I suppose, more than anything else is probably the Black Knight. I don't know. I mean, they're both, these two are both fairly tough. I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat them without using battle items, and I don't really want to use battle items because of my, because I want to save them for when I do get a decent screen and want a really nice score. There is something to be said maybe for the argument of going for blues and rather than greens on this, because I mean the two bosses are greens. The two bosses are reds. The mobs are green. But then, with the bosses getting quite tough, maybe I should try it with blues. I don't know. Maybe that's the next step, try it with blues. Yeah, because the bosses are blues. A lot of the mobs are blue. And really the bosses are where it gets tough. So maybe that is where I should go. Go down the route of blues rather than greens. So it's something to consider. I may maybe try it. Certainly early on in the challenge events, I always stack against the mobs. Maybe later on you want to stack against the bosses. It's something to consider, and if anybody knows the right answer to that, I would, obviously I'd appreciate that comment. Anyway, I'm going to hit one last move, and then I think it's probably time to call it a day. You can see that my tiles are not doing a colossal amount of damage, and there's again a massive shortage of green tiles. My little elves that Buddy has summoned are probably doing more damage than anything else. Well, luckily at least all the Black Knights things can be removed by a debuffer. Anyway, so that's it. So I'm sorry there wasn't much in that video that actually would help. Certainly there wasn't much that helped me. I hope maybe there was something that helped other people. Because certainly from my point of view, that video was very frustrating because nothing much happened. But yes, it kind of hints at the high scoring ways on challenge events, quite how frustrating it can be, quite how many times you have to replay the same mission, quite how you always wait for a really good screen and then it just never seems to come, which is exactly what happened to me there. I will definitely complete this epic. I've got the battle items and I've got the heroes to do it. It's just a case of trying to improve my score. Now I have 23 hours, 41 minutes. Not aiming super high, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, this is Farmer Ben saying that, hopefully tomorrow, once I've done Epic, there will be a summoning video with at least one of my children, because they love doing, I say they love, they're forced into doing the summons and they pretend to enjoy it, and we'll see what happens. So anyway, this is Farmer Ben saying it's been deeply, deeply emotional. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe and click the bell and all those kind of things. Remember, comments are gratefully received. Advice on getting higher scores on challenge events for me as well is also good. This is Farmer Ben saying, may death come swiftly to your enemies. Peace out. Au revoir. Goodbye. Bye.